while I'm here, I have worms on my kitchen counter. These are micro worms. And I have some mashed potatoes that I'm going to put them on top of because I wanted to use that other than like the other stuff that people were recommending that apparently stinks really bad. My husband has a really sensitive nose, and I opened up the bag a little bit just to see how bad the smell is, and it basically knocked me onto my butt. So I have some Tupperware here. I'm gonna take this pin and try poking holes into it to give them some air. So if you guys want to stick around, we can do this together. So I'm poking holes into the Ziploc screw on right here, and as you can see, it's already been bent. This is pretty thick plastic, but if you screw the top onto the Tupperware, it's a lot easier to push the holes in. So basically, I just push it in, and then I kind of give it, wiggle it around, and then you got a nice hole. So I think this should be a good amount of holes because you don't want them too big. So I think that will be fine. And I've actually got 2 of these. So I'm going to do 2 cultures out of this one bag, which probably has millions in there. I've never done this before, so you guys can learn from me, I guess, if I make an error or whatever like that. But we'll go ahead and put the mashed potatoes in here in a second. So I went ahead and put some instant mashed potatoes in here. And I'm going to add some water to this. And what you're going to want to do is add enough water to where the mashed potatoes are really stiff, but like not too stiff. So you don't want them to be too watery, and you don't want them to be too dry. So kind of like a smooth consistency, maybe a little lumpy. So I'm probably going to go ahead and use, I don't know, like aquarium water maybe, or bottled water would probably be the best. So I'm going to use bottled water. Alright, so let's go ahead and mix this up. And these are super cheap instant mashed potatoes. So I basically went ahead and put what I thought was a good consistency. Also, I made sure to clean the sides of my Tupperware because the worms apparently will crawl on the sides of the Tupperware, and that's a good place to either use your finger or, you know, wear a pair of gloves to grab some out. And I really don't want mashed potatoes in my tanks. So I've got some of this brewer's yeast, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of that on top. And then I'm going to go outside and throw some of these worms onto my mashed potatoes. So as you can see, I did not video the spreading of the oatmeal on top of the mashed potatoes just because it was super messy. It was pretty messy. So we are like a week later, and as you can see, I have a banging culture going here. And just a warning, hopefully you guys haven't eaten or are about to eat, because yeah, this is not pleasant. The reason why this is on top of my aquarium is that these worms do not like heat, and so this is right here is pretty warm. So basically it's forcing them to climb the sides of the Tupperware a little more than they were. So they're all climbing up on here. So I'm about to feed my 75-gallon tank, and I've been doing this for a few days now, and I found the easiest way of doing this is with a Q-tip. So what you're going to do is take this and then drag it on the side. So you got, I guess you can't really see a nice bit of this on here. And to be honest with you, the mashed potatoes work fantastic. I can open this up and there's no real smell to it. Not kind of like when I opened up the oatmeal and basically wanted to gag. So this works the best. So we have this right here. So I had to switch over to my 75-gallon tank because I forgot to hit the play button when I was showing you guys the feeding of the 20-gallon. Now only a few of these fish will eat this. I think the rummy nose tetras and the Cloud Mountain fish will eat them. But everybody else who's bigger is just kind of like, they kind of don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just they're so big and they just don't notice it. And I'll show you guys what it looks like when I feed these guys. So you can see the little white cloud of worms there. As you can see, they are loving it. It looks like some of the bigger fish are catching on too. And they are super small worms. So I am gonna start my Daphnia tank up here soon once I get my shipment in. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not really sure when it's gonna come in yet, but so yeah, I think it's a really big success, and I will continue to culture this because I can tell my fish really enjoy it. And hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, of course, please leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.